Hello, everybody. Hello. Oh, desktop audio is all the way down. What's the music in the background? Let's get that about there, methinks. Hello, everyone. Hello. Welcome to another installment of Chaturday. This is episode 8, I want to say. Actually, hold on. Wait, did I ever actually... Now I'm thinking about it. Oops, I didn't want to do that. Whoopsies. My channel. Hey, my64, how you doing? Episode 9. Okay, I think I did update the... Yeah, so it's episode 9 of Chaturday. Episode 9 of Chaturday. It's weird. Hey, Strat. We finally made it to one on time. Hey, Segun. Yes, so it feels weird. Like, I've had 3 streams between this Chaturday and the last Chaturday. And the last Chaturday was last Saturday. I've been doing pretty good of keeping Chaturdays pretty consistent. So, woo. Yay for consistency. Hey, Edster, how you doing? Good to have you back. And then, hey, PG Fanboy, how you doing? So today's, discussion, obviously, is going to be a lot about the Nintendo Switch 2. I'm not gonna, dive into all of the leaked stuff from this week, just because, everyone's kind of done it. I just kind of want to more so talk and just kind of speculate with everyone and kind of see where everyone's at in terms of what they want, what they think. I mean, I guess in that regard, we'll talk about the leaks, just kind of what people think, and because now, because of these leaks, more discussion has been coming out about the general direction people want Nintendo to take the Nintendo Switch 2. So, I'm really interested to hear what everyone has to say, and it'd be nice to have a cool discussion about it. So I went back into playing Luigi's Mansion 3, great gem. I actually am thinking about doing a Luigi's Mansion 3 stream for Halloween. Excuse me, I'm thinking about doing a full marathon of the 3 games. Not all in one sitting, but I'll do one stream of Luigi's Mansion 1. It'd probably be a couple streams for 2. I'll do 2 HD, and then I'll do another couple streams for 3 or something like that. It'd be pretty cool. Oh god! Oh my god! No, Becca, you changed your name too. Oh my god. Hey, you guys. It's your friend Tobin. I can't. Guess the big question is, what will the new thing be for this system? I mean, 4K is probably it's probably the biggest thing. Alice, Becca, don't you guys have Overwatch to play or something? Kidding. But yeah, I mean, I think I was having a discussion about this yesterday, and I was yeah, Nintendo usually has a big new thing for each of their consoles, but I'll be kind of satisfied if there isn't one this time around. Just how rude. Nintendo gimmicks, if that makes sense. Yeah, this console doesn't seem to have a big gimmick that's new. I'm kind of fine with that, to be honest. I kind of the Switch just kind of works. Here's the thing, right? The Switch works, but it's not perfect. Obviously, it's severely underpowered. The Joy-Cons have a lot of issues. So, I want them to fix those issues and make the Switch 2 a better Switch, you know? Improve the battery life, improve the Joy-Cons, make it, just feel a little more sturdy in the hands, give it more power, and then, yeah, that's really all you really have to do. Nintendo, here's the thing, right? Gimmicks have helped Nintendo, but gimmicks have also hurt Nintendo. Gimmicks to Nintendo is like Russian roulette, right? Sometimes, oh, motion controls, dockable systems, okay, cool, gimmicks, that work. But then you have tablets, and initially, 3D with the 3DS, because the 3DS really stunk at first. No one was really getting it in the beginning. There are just some gimmicks that just don't work, and I feel if Nintendo wants the system to do well, I feel they might not have to go for super, which sucks because innovation is kind of Nintendo's thing. Of course we want Nintendo to not be creatively stagnant. We want them to actually have some innovation and some good ideas, some new stuff. But I'd rather them also kind of stick with what works. I'd rather them also just make what they're already doing better. Because even though, yes, there are devices like the Steam Deck out there nowadays, the Nintendo Switch is still the first and only home console, and even really the first real, even like console, even above the Steam Deck and everything else, that you can dock. And I guess you can dock the Steam Deck, but you have to buy that separately. Like the Nintendo Switch, out of the box, you can play it on the TV, you can play it in handheld mode. Nintendo are still really the only ones that have that. So, oh my god, this song. Is this Animal Crossing? City Folk. Oh my god. I don't even think I played City Folk and that struck a chord. Oh my lord. But yeah, like, I feel like if Nintendo tried too hard to do something completely different, it'll just, especially because of the fact that, right, I feel like most Nintendo fans now, I mean, really, this is an industry-wide thing, not just Nintendo, it's just gaming as a whole. People want backwards compatibility to be a big thing. People are clamoring for backwards compatibility. And if they did something completely different again, then backwards compatibility probably wouldn't be possible. You know? So, I don't know. I'm kind of satisfied with the direction they're going with the Switch. Okay, I gotta open up the chat here, because I'm just looking at that, and that's not enough. I need to actually see more of the chat. Okay, let me see. Monk. My biggest issue with the Switch, other than power limitations, I think it has to be the interface. It's slow, boring. I feel disconnected from my friends in the library. Yeah, like the OS, like all the not the software, because that includes games, but I mean like the system software, like the menus, the eShop, the home screen, all of that. I feel like does need a good revamping, because I do feel like it'll do more to separate the Switch 2 from the Switch if it just visually, if everything about it looks differently. And if I'm not mistaken, I believe Nintendo initially said the whole reason they went for a simplistic approach for the UI with the Switch is because of the battery, because doing more complicated stuff would have a more serious effect on the battery. So I hope that, given that this system is obviously going to be more powerful, and I'm hoping we'll have a better battery, and it's because it's a bigger device, it'll probably at least have a little bit of a bigger battery, then I'm hoping that that won't be an issue anymore, and we'll have a fun and creative UI. So we'll have to wait and see on that, because that's the thing as well. All we know, and I'm saying no loosely, like in quotes, is from a factory leak, supposed factory leak, and some 3D mock-ups, 3D printed mock-ups that we have that show vaguely what the system will look like physically. So things like, there could be gimmicks in it that we don't know if it has or not. There could be things about the system in its UI. There could be added features. There could be things that we don't quite know of yet, just because we have a picture of it, like a model of it, and a vague description of some things in terms of the power. And of course, we have to take all that with a grain of salt, like I always say with all of these leaks. Like, this seems like a more legitimate leak. Like, this is like the whole thing with the Nintendo Switch 2. That I classify as a proper leak. Like, if that's coming from a factory and you're getting 3D models from it, yeah, that's a proper leak. Like, that's a full-on leak. Like, I know I always talk about it whenever we talk about leaks, but like, if someone posts on 4chan, like, just text saying, oh, this is a game coming out, that's not a leak. I'd specify that as a rumor, because you're just hearing from word of mouth. Oh, it's a rumor. A leak would be something tangible, something physical that you could be like, okay, that might have leaked out, like these 3D models of the Switch. So, there you go. I remember I just skipped some comments. So the Nintendo Switch, they can have Nintendo Swap. I think I feel like either, I don't know what they'd have to do. I mean, I just think personally, I think the Switch 2 is fine. Like, yeah, it'd be cool to have a creative name, but like, the Switch 2 is perfectly fine as a name, in my personal opinion. Some people wanted gimmicks, probably be some people who want phones to be different every year. I mean, listen, I got no problem with gimmicks. Like, gimmicks make Nintendo systems what they are, but for me, the gimmicks that Nintendo has don't land half the time. And that's just my personal opinion. Like, the Wii, I did not care for motion controls. They did nothing for me. They made me just kind of skip the Wii generation for the most part, just because I didn't care for the motion controls. The 3DS, yes, I love the 3DS, and I played it to death. But the 3D did absolutely nothing for me. I did not care about the 3D. Some people probably think it's pretty cool, but let's be real. If you have a 3DS, how often do you really play with that 3D slider all the way up? How often? They even made the 2DS and the 2DS XL for the purpose, and the new 2DS XL for the purpose of the people who don't play in 3D get a cheaper alternative. So, let's see here. Let's see. I'm hoping they would make a little Nintendo Switch Home alternative to the Light dock only Switch of the Pro Controller. Last thing, talking about the leaks a little bit, something that the leaks kind of said was that docked mode of the Switch 2 is apparently more powerful than handheld mode in Switch 2. And the thing is, with the Nintendo Switch 1, the dock did not give any more power to the Switch. It was basically just a way to display your Switch games. I think in a higher resolution, but that's about it. Like, there was nothing added there power-wise. It just maybe up-resed it a little bit and projected it onto a TV. So if the dock actually makes the Switch itself more power, or the Switch 2 itself more powerful, then I think it is possible that we could get like a just docked Switch. Because no games, unless it requires touchscreen, really require you to play in hand. Like, there's games that basically require you to play in docked mode, like something like Super Mario Party, right? Like, you can play that in tabletop mode, whatever, but you can't play it in handheld mode. So something like Super Mario Party, the original, not Jamboree, that would be fine, because, like, you could play that on the docked-only system. And, like, other games, too, like Ring Fit Adventure, stuff like that. Hoping to see a new DK on the system. Yeah, so on Monday, I'm uploading a video on the Switch 2. And if you haven't seen the community post, go and check it out. On the community post, it basically, I asked the question, what's one feature or game or something that you want to see on the Switch 2 in the first year of its launch? Because everyone's doing Switch 2 videos. Everyone's doing Switch 2 videos. But I wanted my Switch 2 video to be a little bit different, because we know it's coming. We know it's happening soon. So I wanted to do something a little more fun. And my video is going to be about what I want to see within the first year of the Switch 2's launch. Like, everything I want to see out of the box and within the first year. That's kind of what I want my video. That's how I'm framing my video. So, hopefully people like that. It's a little different. It's not talking about the leaks. It's not talking about all that stuff. That's what this is for. So, hopefully you guys enjoy that. Honestly, but the new 3D Mario game, like how Super Mario Sunshine wasn't in a modern way, like Odyssey of 64 vibes. I'll have to wait and see. There's a lot they could do with a new 3D Mario game. I feel like they're going to build a lot off of what they did with Bowser's Fury. Like, I think Bowser's Fury was like a test of how fans would respond to a little more of an open-ended Mario, or not open-ended, an open-world Mario game. Which isn't a bad idea. I just hope they don't go too far with it. Like, not every single game needs to be open world. Not every single game needs to have that concept. So, hopefully, they don't go too far in the open world sphere. I mean, Zelda did it, and it's like, every game is doing it. Sonic's done it now. It's like, kind of been overdone. So, I really hope that the next 3D Mario game, I don't know. I don't feel like we're gonna go back to the Wii era vibes of the Switch 2 home menu. Yeah, I don't think so. I mean, that's the thing, right? Though, is like, I feel like, and this is coming from me, obviously the freaking nerdy nostalgic guy. The Wii vibes, I feel like, can't be replicated just simply because of the fact that the Wii vibes are just nostalgic. Like, yeah, the Switch vibes are. I'm not trying to justify and defend the Switch vibes. The Switch is sterile. The Switch is bland. We all know this. This is nothing new. Nothing crazy. But the vibes that the Wii had, like with the menus and the music, I feel like if the Switch 2 did replicate it, it wouldn't be appreciated as much just because of the nostalgia that people have for the Wii generation's music. You know? Like, okay. To put it into perspective for people of our age, right? Who, I mean, I guess I technically can't. I'm a little bit on the older end of that, but whatever. We have the Wii generation with the Wii music, whatever. You all know... Oh, lag, hello. You all know when people said, like, older people, like people who grew up with, like, the NES and SNES, said they don't make games like they used to, like, games aren't good nowadays, and then you say, okay, boomer, like, look at these games we have nowadays. That's kind of the vibe that, not that that gives off, not saying that you give off boomer vibes, but, like, you know, if Nintendo tries something new, and then people say, oh, it doesn't have the charm that the Wii had, you know, so I feel like Nintendo trying to replicate what the Wii did would not be... I mean, it killed them with the Wii U. It utterly destroyed them with the Wii U. So, as long as they give it some charm, something to make it stand out, because every single Nintendo console did this. Every single one. Well, I mean, the NES, not really, because the NES and the Super Nintendo, they were too... I don't want to say primitive, that's not the word, but they didn't have the power at the time. But, like, yeah, with the N64, you had, like, the cool N64 screen, the GameCube, you had the Cube menu, the Wii, obvious. The Wii U even had its charm. The Switch was just too bland. So as long as they give it something, just something to give it a little bit of something unique, all good. And it'd not be unfair to compare it to the Wii, but, like, I don't know. Let's see. So true, never. You could call it Nintendo Nova. Luigi's Mansion 4 is one of the titles in the launch year. I think it could be, because it seems trending that, I was about to say Indie Cube, wrong studio. Oh, well, now it's Nintendo Cube. But Next Level Games seem to release games every 3 years. 2013 was Dark Moon. 2016 was Federation Force. 2019 was Luigi's Mansion 3. 2022 was Mario Strikers. So 3 years later, 2025. So I think Luigi's Mansion for next year is, I don't want to say it's guaranteed, but I do think it's likely. I think we could likely see a new Luigi's Mansion game next year. Just because of the fact that Luigi's Mansion 3 sold really, really well. I even think Luigi's Mansion 2 sold, or Luigi's Mansion 2 HD, I should say, sold really, really well. Like, I remember seeing the sales figures. I believe, like, in its first week, sold over 1 million. I'm pretty certain that I saw, like, one, because I think it was, like the end of June report, like, up until June 31st, or 30th, June 30th, and, like, Dark Moon, or 2HD came out, like, June 26th, or something like that, whatever it was, 27th, and, like, it had sold, like, 1 million, so, I don't know. Duck Only Switch would be interesting. Probably call it a Switch Home. That's actually not a bad name for it. So thinking, let's see, Odyssey over Bowser's Fury, in my opinion. I agree. I mean, it's not like comparing apples to oranges, but like, hey, one's a full-fledged game, and it's like its own unique thing, and then the other is like a small side thing using the engine and mechanics of another game. So, you know, they only had so much they could do with it. But I agree. I mean, Odyssey, like, I still think Odyssey is, like, not even close to the best 3D Mario game, but it's not a bad one. It's not a bad one. Match it for Halloween. They have a Polter Puppet Super Nintendo World. Oh, that'd be cool. I would make Nintendo have a huge touchscreen, control button, a home button, and a controller. Well, hey, that seems to be what the Switch 2 is probably going to have. Big screen, touchscreen, buttons. Let's see, the Switch menu just failed to be charming or modern. They're just simplistic, but not in a good way either. No themes or music. Yeah, just usability to dress it down. Yeah, it's sterile isn't even the right word. It's just boring. It's just a boring menu. There's nothing really to it. You can't really customize it in any way. There's no themes. There's no music. The icons on screen are only based on the game you played most recent up front, and then it just kind of goes back. Like, it's just not innovative, not good at all. It's really not good. So, hopefully they fix that with the Switch 2. Hey, NFan90, I'm doing good. How are you? I don't think Nintendo will bring direct innovation-less console, because since Nintendo 64, they always had an innovative idea. Yeah, like that's the thing, is like ever since the Nintendo 64, they've always tried innovative things. I would say maybe the GameCube is probably the safest they played it. Like, they didn't really do any, but no, actually, no. They had, like, the broadband adapter. They had, like, all this LAN stuff. Like, they were trying things with the GameCube. But the GameCube, they didn't really just do much with just because of how poorly the console sold. But, like, you know, like, Nintendo always tried, you know, to do something innovative. And, like I said, I don't mind if they don't really do much with the Switch 2. Just because there's a lot that's not great about the Switch 1 that I feel like if they just fix and perfect with the Switch 2... like, it just doesn't need, like, you don't need to do anything new. If you get that if you get it down. 3D Land and Galaxy 2 are probably the worst 3D Marios. I never played Galaxy 2, but I actually liked 3D Land. Well, that's the thing, is I mean, okay, like, yes, 3D Land is technically a 3D Mario game. But, like... I always count 3D Land and 3D World as their own kind of specific subgenre. Like, they're the 3D 2D games. Like, they're the 2D games just in 3D, basically. Obviously, Super Mario 3D World has a lot more to it. Like, it's a little more, like, there's a little more to it. But with 3D Land, it's like, you know, it's legit like a 3D 2D Mario game. Hey Camtro, I really hope we get Nintendo 3DS. Wait, getting N3DS type for Switch 2? What does that mean? I might be dumb, but what does that mean? The layout of games and stuff, yeah, it really bothers me. I want you to create proper folders and libraries. Yeah, there's no folders, there's no libraries. It's literally, it's pretty dang bad. It's pretty, like, bleh. Like... I don't know, like, literally anything would be better than what the Switch 1 has, literally. Like, and it's crazy, because, like, with the Wii and the Wii U, I feel like Nintendo perfected everything. Like, Nintendo perfected how to do well, okay, I don't want to say perfected. They're not perfect, the Wii and the Wii U home screens. They're not perfect. But, you can move things around, you can customize it, you have folders, you got little music, you got little jingles... Like, and there's, like, on the Wii and Wii U as well, and also 3DS, and, like, even, like, the DSi, there were, like, little things that you could do, like, you know, like on the DSi, you had, like, the camera, you had the little voice memo thing, which I think you also had on the 3DS, you had, on the 3DS, you had, like, Find Me, and the Street Pass stuff. You know, on the Wii U, you had the Miiverse. There's so much. I think you can even video chat on the Wii U. Like, there's a lot of just stuff that's on these systems that, like, I'm not saying they have to bring all of it back. I'm not saying they have to bring back Street Pass for the Switch to be a success, or bring back Mii's or anything like that. Like, they don't have to do any of that. If anything, personally... I think Nintendo, and I know this is going to be a very unpopular opinion, I think Nintendo have to leave the Mii's behind, just because they're just so synonymous with the Wii, that, I mean, granted, they've already started leaving the Mii's behind, they're still around in a lot of games, but, like, I feel like the Mii's are just so tied to the Wii generation, and I feel like Nintendo just kind of have to separate themselves from it, in a weird way, but... yeah, I mean, just to offer something, like, fun to do within the home screen. Like I said, whether it's a voice memo mode. Apparently, according to the leaks, there is a microphone on the system, and apparently it'll support, like, an external camera of some sort, is something I heard. So, like, all that stuff is very possible, but we'll have to see. Like the features from the new 3DS, such as Steam's... Oh, okay, got you. Yeah, colored buttons would be cool to have back. I mean, we haven't had colored buttons on a Nintendo console since the GameCube. Home console, I should say. Since the GameCube. Like, that's kind of crazy. Like, it's been since the GameCube, since we've had a fun kind of... Like, I feel like ever since the Wii, Nintendo controllers have tried to look slick. And... I mean, granted, the only controllers for Nintendo now I'm thinking about, that really leaned into funny, wacky style was the N64 and the GameCube. Because even, like, the NES and the SNES controllers were pretty slick, all things considered. Let's see. Hi, Lipe Yoshi. How you doing? We have the presentation. They did something similar to what they did with the 3DS, where they have a giant showcasing all the games. I mean, it's possible. I mean, I think whenever I think when they do the reveal, which I'm gonna assume is gonna be early October. Like, I'm gonna say within the first week of October. Well, I mean, well, hold on. Let me look at the calendar. Yeah, within like the first week of October, like the 3rd, the 4th, maybe the 7th or 8th. Like, I'd say probably somewhere within there is when I personally think they'd want to show off the Switch. Because I don't think they probably wouldn't do it too close to Mario Party. Like, I don't think they do it too close to a game's launch. Like, within a week of a game's launch. Which is why I think this week and next week are no-goes for the Switch 2's reveal. Maybe the end of next week, but definitely not, like, this coming week. No way. But anyways. Excuse me. I'm here. What did I miss? Not too much, honestly. We're just kind of talking about the Switch. Mentioned that the trailer uses haha, yeah, oh my god. Theoretically, the NS had the D-pad as innovation. The NS had the L and R shoulder buttons. The game you had a built-in 3D chip. Oh yeah, I forgot about the 3D. Oh, they never used it though. Like, you can't really call it innovation if they never used it. Like, it's. I mean, yeah, it's innovative, but they never actually used it. They wanted to, but the technology just wasn't there at the time. It was too expensive. They were only used in Mario Kart and kind of Miitopia, especially, what, the Miis? I mean, they were used in Mario Kart, Miitopia, they were used in Smash Brothers. Like, I feel like, kind of Switch Sports, if you count the fact that you can, like, kind of use, like, the head of a Mii, I think. But, like, you know, I don't know. Nintendo 64 had the first 3D analogs too. They need to keep the Miis, Zach. Here's why. Because Switch 2 will be backwards compatible in Miitopia on Switch. Plus, I want them to evolve the Miis more by giving the options to highlights and colored skin. Well, that's the thing, is Miitopia has its own Mii Maker within it. So, it's like, yeah, sure, backwards compatible. Yeah, Miitopia. I mean, obviously, if it's going to be backwards compatible. God, music shift. Obviously, if they're going to bring over, like, Miitopia, Smash Bros. Ultimate, Mario Kart, yeah, they got to keep the Miis for that. Like, there's nothing really you can do. But I feel like, you know, the next Smash Bros. Game, or the next Mario Kart game, that's kind of when I think you should cut the Miis, in my opinion. Like, you know, don't worry about another Miitopia game. Now, yes, obviously, the elephant in the room, and a lot of fans would say, Tamagotchi life. But, I don't know. Like, oh no, because everyone says the whole point, whole charm of Tamagotchi life is the Miis. I don't know. Plus, I want them to evolve. Okay, I read that. What was your favorite Mario Party session ever? Oh my god, my favorite ever Mario Party session? I've done too many of them now. I've played Mario Party so many times. But I guess I'll save, like, favorite Mario Party sessions. When I was a kid, like, you know, like, when I was a kid, I remember playing Mario Party all the time with, like, me, my brother, and my babysitter. Like, we would play Mario Party all the time. I remember playing it with my dad once, with me and my brother. So me, my brother, and my dad. You know, like, those childhood sessions, like, you can't beat playing Mario Party when you're a kid, and it's like, you know, I still remember my first game of Mario Party 2, it was Western Land. You know, it was, the downstairs neighbors of my grandparents. You know, they had kids that were my age, and I ran down there, they had an N64. We played Mario Party 2, and, because I think they had 1 and 2, and they said, oh, 1 is really bad, we really like 2. So I said, okay, we played Western Land. And I remember the first time playing 6, like, you know, all those memories. I think that'd probably be I mean, it's not one session, but, you know, a general bubble. I really hope they keep the Miis alive. Miis as setting option is very weird. I don't know. Miis, I mean, yes, I get it. They got their charm. But I feel like if they do keep the Miis around, I feel like they kind of have to rebrand them. Just because of the fact that Miis are just so attached to the Wii brand. Like, I feel like they just have to rebrand it. They have to change the name. They have to do something. I mean, Miis, I guess you don't really have to change just because, like, it's Miis just sounds like me as well. I don't know. It's just, I don't know. Like, everyone's so nostalgic for them, and I get it. Like, I am too. But there's a point where it's like, let's be real, they're not the best character creation tool. Like, listen, everyone's saying like, yes, Mii's let you move different parts of the body around. Like, you can move your eyes up and down. You can do weird things with them. But, like, you could do that with other means other than Mii's. Like, they could make another character creation tool that they don't have to tie to the Nintendo, to a Nintendo Switch. They could just be like, oh, make your, I don't know, Nintendo Buddy. I don't know. It's a stupid name I'm just giving it. And just do something new. Like make something that, I don't know. I'm not going to talk about it anymore. If we have no Direct, then yeah, reveal is very imminent, because I actually was expecting a September Direct for some reason. I was not expecting a September Direct. I wasn't at all. It just doesn't feel right. Like, there's nothing, especially because we're at the end of the Switch generation. What else is there for them to really... We're covered up all the way until January. So, like, we got games all the way up until January, so I don't see them really announcing many new things. I mean, yeah, we still need, assuming, let's say the console comes out in March, we still probably need at least a February game, but we don't even need that. If Nintendo are building hype for the Switch 2, then yeah, February, you might not want a game. Because that game is probably destined to fail if literally 1 month later, that's when the new console's coming out. So, I don't know. I feel like we're just kind of set until the Switch 2. Between Mario Party, Legend of Zelda. Legend of Zelda, Mario Party, Mario and Luigi, and Donkey Kong Country, I feel like we're set. Do you think Smash Ultimate will get a port on Switch 2, Zach? I feel like since Smash 6 is going to likely collect from characters, it should just port Ultimate Mario Kart 8 style. Try to hit on your character. Well, that's the thing. Why would they port it if the system's backwards compatible? That doesn't make sense to me. Like, if the system's backwards compatible, unless they're going to start doing what PlayStation does, which is remastering games that are already playable on the system, I feel like it doesn't make much sense. I don't know why they would make a deluxe version of Ultimate if Ultimate you could just play on the system. Like, to me, that doesn't make much sense. I could see them maybe re-releasing Ultimate, maybe, with all the DLC included in the cart, but I don't think they're gonna do an updated version of that. I don't really think that makes sense, to be honest. And if this is compatible, okay, yeah, Strat said that. But it'd be like Persona 5 World Situation, Strat, where they add new content and treat it as a new game, but why? And like, if you're also saying Smash 6, why would they make a better Smash Ultimate and then also do a new Smash Brothers on the... Like, that doesn't make sense. It's like Mario Kart 8, right? Mario Kart 8 Deluxe got ported to the Switch. It got more characters, it got more courses, all of that. But there's a new Mario Kart that didn't need to be a new Mario Kart. So, either maybe they will do a new Smash Brothers, or like they'll add more, they'll deluxify it, whatever, but then there's probably not going to be a new Smash Brothers game. Like, I'm thinking what makes the most sense is the Switch 2 will be backwards compatible. You could port it over. Maybe you can get a new physical version of it that'll contain all the DLC. And they'll work on a reboot of the Smash franchise, where obviously it'll be a lot smaller, there's going to be a lot less, but they'll freshen it up and do something a little new, so that you have the big Ultimate Smash game, but you have a new Smash game that tries some things a little bit differently. I think that's what makes the most sense to me. I don't see why they'd put all that effort and time and resources into building up Ultimate even more, because Ultimate's freaking huge already. Like, why would you need to build that up even more and also simultaneously work on a reboot of this? Like, it doesn't really make sense. Or I should say a Smash 6 at the same time. That's not a port, that's just the deluxe version. They need to put a charger port on the top of the Switch 2 and fix the Joy-Con drift. Well, the reason why the charging port's on the bottom of the Switch 1 is because of the dock. Like, you can't put the thing in upside down. I mean, I guess you could, technically. Like, if they just made it so, like, you just put the Switch in upside down. Which kind of defeats the purpose of, like, picking it up and just playing it right then. But, I don't mind the thing being, or the port being on the bottom. But there is a USB port, apparently, supposedly, according to the leaks, on the top of the console as well. So maybe that's another option to charge it. Oh, man, I'm thirsty. Holy crap. I'd actually buy Smash Ultimate again if they added more content and characters. That's one game I wouldn't get sick of. But not everyone's like you, Brandon. Not everyone would buy that because, I mean, yes, I mean, people probably would if there were big additions, but I don't see Nintendo, especially because of the fact that I'm assuming it would be licensed. Here's the thing, though, right? It would probably be third-party characters because at that point, just save new first-party characters for the reboot, if you're for the 6th game, right? Because like if you're just gonna add a bunch of new characters to Ultimate, but then that's gonna leave you less characters to work with for the new game. I don't know. To me, it just doesn't make sense. Weird because we had September Directs every year since 2020, I think, but makes sense. We've had September Directs every year, I think, since 2017, honestly. But because this year's a little bit different, then yeah, it makes sense that they're going to skip out on this year. Maybe Nintendo could bring DLC to Mario Party Jamboree after the launch of the Switch 2, because games like Mario Kart 8 Deluxe and DLC, they re-released on the Nintendo Switch. Well, that's the thing, though. They re-released on the Nintendo Switch and got DLC. I don't think Super Mario Party Jamboree is going to get DLC. I think the game has enough content to stand on its own. Excuse me. As much as I would love DLC for Super Mario Party Jamboree, I don't really think it needs it. But hey, who knows? They could prove me wrong. Smash should just get a reboot at this point. That's what I'm saying. Like, they can't make anything bigger than Ultimate. They can't. So, like, I think taking a step back and re-looking at Smash, and because, like, realistically, Smash has been the same since the N64. And now, with games like Multiverses and Nick All-Star Brawl and all of these games that are coming out that are very Smash Brothers-like, I feel like Nintendo will probably want to look at Smash Brothers and be like, okay, what can we do to make this series innovative again? Because now everyone's doing Smash Brothers clones. What can we do with Smash Brothers to make it stand out? So I think rebooting the franchise just kind of makes sense at this point, which I usually hate when you change. I mean, they wouldn't change the fundamentals of what Smash is, but I feel like with, like, if you're able to play Smash Ultimate on the Switch 2, there's no reason why they would or should release practically the same game again on the same console. So I don't think they released Smash Bros. Ultimate plus another DLC Fighters Pass. I don't even think they're going to re-release it. I think I mean, they could, but I don't think they're gonna. They wouldn't do Smash Bros. 6 until the console after Switch 2. Ultimate Deluxe would be the new Smash Bros. But why? That's what I don't get. Like, why does it have to be Smash Ultimate again for the Switch 2? Like, people have complained about Mario Kart 8 staying around longer than it needs to, right? Like, how long have people been clamoring for a new Mario Kart game because the Switch didn't get one? The same exact thing would happen with Smash Brothers. 3 years into the system's lifespan, people would be like, ugh, I'm tired of this same Smash Brothers game. Where's the new one? That's it would be like Mario Kart all over again, right? So, like, I don't get the purpose of them doing that at all. I wonder how big the next Mario Kart will be. Are they going to go as big as Odyssey or something maybe smaller to celebrate within the theme parks? Well, with Mario Kart? I mean, Mario Kart, I feel like with Mario Kart, I don't know, like, they've had, 10 years to think of a new idea, so just have a new, fresh idea, throw in some Mario characters, and you're set. Like, there's not much they really need to do with Mario Kart. It's not like Smash Brothers, where you have to worry about the roster, worry about all these different things. Make a good racing game, make sure the character roster is at least decent, doesn't need to be that big, just have a decent selection of 30 to 35 Mario characters, maybe-ish, around there, and you're set, and you're fine. Mario Kart is one of those games that doesn't, I mean, obviously, it needs to be a good game, but, I can't think of one bad Mario Kart game. Even the ones I don't really care for that much, say what you will about Super Mario Kart, but that's the game that started the franchise, and obviously, it was pretty freaking good at the time. So, we'll have to see. Smash Ultimate isn't truly Ultimate yet. Add more stuff to truly make it up to this name. I think Smash Ultimate is Ultimate. Yes, it doesn't have some of the bells and whistles that some of the previous games had, but it has the most characters of any Smash Brothers game. It brought back 99% of the stages from the previous games. And all the music. It's brought back every single character that was ever in Smash Brothers. And added, I think, maybe 20 new characters around there. Like, it's an insanely big Mario or Smash Brothers game. So I think that's pretty dang ultimate. Like yeah, it doesn't have break the targets, which it's break the targets. It's running around and hitting targets. Yes, it utilizes the moveset of the characters, but that's the thing as well. Break the targets. This is just one example. Break the targets utilizes the character. The stage is made for the character and has to utilize their moveset so you can break the targets. Nintendo is not going to make about 100 different types of break the target stages for all these characters. They're just not going to do it. For like an Ultimate Edition, like, I don't know. It doesn't sound right to me. When you get Jamboree, what's the first board you're streaming? I'm probably going to do Goomba Lagoon first, because that's the one I'm most excited for. What's your opinion on the latest 2D Mario game? I played it, but I have to say I couldn't care less to replay it. I like the new stuff to put in it, but maybe it's still too different from the previous games. You mean like Super Mario Brothers Wonder? I liked it, but like it just, I mean, kind of the opposite things of you, but like literally it's the opposite of what you said. It's like for me, it's like it's not much different than the other 2D Mario games. It doesn't need to be. Like, it's a good game, but like it doesn't do anything extraordinary. Like, it's good. It's just good. I know it got nominated for Game of the Year, which is pretty insane. But the next 3D Mario game will be like Mario Sunshine. We'll have to wait and see. Wonder is a step in the right direction. All it needs to do is change the sequel to add more characters and difficulty. Fair. Well, Mario Bros. Wonder did have some pretty big difficulty spikes, in my opinion. I think the next Mario Kart would be named Mario Kart X, Nintendo All-Stars. I swear to God, if they just... The problem with adding Nintendo characters to every Mario game is then you're just depleting Mario characters, right? Like, if they add, if they make it like, well, let me make sure, with characters and racetracks. I don't think, it's like, let's say you have half Mario characters, half other Nintendo characters. You're gonna lose characters. You're gonna lose characters like King Boo. You're gonna lose characters like, I'm trying to think of other Petey Piranha and Wiggler, and you know, you're gonna lose a lot of the out there Mario characters that you don't get to play as. All those characters that you were excited for in the Booster Course Pass because they were different and you don't see them very much, they're all getting cut for Link and Isabelle again and an Inkling again and like Kirby and Sam. Like, Super Smash Brothers is so special because it's the one real time that all of these characters come together. Like, we don't need everything to feature Nintendo characters. We don't need anything like... A Nintendo Kart itself would be kind of cool, but to make Mario Kart a Nintendo Kart just kind of seems like a dumb idea, in my opinion. Same with Mario Party. Like, Switch Force did a whole video about why Mario Party should introduce Nintendo, like, other Nintendo characters. It's like, why? Like, why does everything have to have all these Nintendo characters? It's Mario Party. It's got to have Mario characters. Like, that's the point. It's like, as much as people wouldn't like it, Nintendo likes money, and Ultimate will make them tons of money. So them milking is probably most likely Nintendo. What will make them more money is a new Smash Brothers game. Because not everyone who has Ultimate will upgrade to... Because the reason why Mario Kart 8 Deluxe exists, and the reason why they made all of these ports, is because of how poorly the Wii U sold. That's why they did it. That's where the money mindset comes in. Because, like, okay, no one bought Mario Kart before on the Wii U. Well, okay, it sold decently well on the Wii U, but it's like, let's just bring it to the Switch. You know, and that made them so much money. Like, that's, you know, so Ultimate, you already... So many people already have Ultimate. Why would not everyone would feel inclined to buy it? What, for a handful of extra characters? To me, it just doesn't sit right. It just doesn't sit right. Like, it doesn't make sense to me. Is it right, Zach? The Wii U games did get DLC after the... Oh my god, am I that far behind on chat? Jesus. But the reason they were not backwards compatible is Switch 2 will have that, and Mario Party Jamboree will get DLC. I still don't think it will. I mean, think about it, right? If they have a unique gimmick in the Switch 2, like, that's different than the Switch 1, I think, especially for a Mario Party game, their first instinct will be to make a Mario Party game that utilizes the gimmicks of the new system. If there is a microphone in the Switch 2, if there is a camera thing or support for a camera, yeah, they're not going to make DLC for Jamboree. They're going to start making a new Mario Party that utilizes all that stuff so they can get it out real quick. Like, I think that's what they're going to do with Mario Party instead of DLC. And they do the choice and make them the most money. I hate to say this, as Nintendo's a bit greedy. I mean, it's not them being greedy, it's them being a company. Like, a company doing things to make money doesn't make them greedy, it just makes them a company. Like, every company does the thing that they think will make them the most money, not because they're, like, I mean, they are money hungry, but it doesn't make them greedy. I mean, yes, companies do make greedy decisions, but I feel like not making a deluxe I feel like making a deluxe version of a game that millions of people have already bought just to add a few more things into it makes such little sense financially. Because then you'd have to pay even more money. Because think about it, right? If they here's the thing, right? If they re-released Smash Bros. Ultimate, the licensing fees that they had to pay to get characters like Snake, Cloud, Sora, Banjo, all those characters, they would have to pay them again to get them to release a new Smash Bros. That would cost them so much more money that it is probably even worse. Because that's something you probably aren't even thinking about. The licensing fees for all of the third-party characters. Because once you're done selling the game, and the game's in circulation, like when the Switch, then that's it. Like, like there's no more licensing fees because like that's why characters like Snake wasn't in Wii U, because Konami didn't license him out to Nintendo for Smash Wii U. So I feel like if you have to re-release the game, you have to make agreements again with all these companies, especially the characters that were initially DLC. There probably have to be new agreements, and it'll cost even more money. Financially, that makes no sense for Nintendo to do. I don't think it makes sense at all. Character like Mario Kart, they do the break the target brawl style, where it's the same for every character. Man, are you playing Jamboree online first, just by yourself? I mean, I'll probably stream it, but I'll probably do like solo myself, because I don't want to worry about the hassle of getting people online. Like, I just kind of want to get in and play, and like just kind of get into it and figure out the mechanics and all of that. So my first games, I mean, I'm doing a madness on the day that comes out, on the day that Jamboree comes out. But I'm probably not going to stream like viewers on the first day, because I want to just get in, play, get the boards I want in, join the madness, because I think we're doing Coupathlon for the madness, so I at least want to play one board at least before the Coupathlon, so we'll see. I read that. I can't wait for Mario Maker 3. I hope that had a boss maker where you can give a normal enemy boss abilities and give them 3 lives. Oh, that'd be interesting. I really like to say Bowser, you can't hit him. That'd be interesting. Not surprised because of the lack of the Mario series characters in general. We need a lot more diversity in the roster. Just the main series. No. Anyways, switching the topic from Smash Ultimate, Zach, do you think the listener hope for Mario Baseball comes to Switch? I think we're well beyond that at this point. I think we're well beyond the prospects of a Mario Baseball at this point. Started with Mario Tennis and Golf again, so Switch 1 is the only chance for baseball. It's Switch 1 or bust. Well, not necessarily, because golf and tennis are made by Camelot, and baseball is made by whatchamacallit, Bandai Namco. So not necessarily. It's not just because like golf and tennis are gonna be like the first things they work on for the new system. That's a whole different studio. Like, yes, release wise might be different, but like, just because like they're gonna be working on golf and tennis doesn't mean they can't also work on baseball, because it's a completely different studio that would do it. Unless you mean like a Mario Sports Superstar situation. Nintendo Kart means I call Wario first. I wonder when the next Animal Crossing will be set, or where the next Animal Crossing will be set. New Horizons was set on an island, so they could be next. I wonder where the next one will be set. I feel like a lot of Animal Crossing fans, I mean, this is the thing, right? New Leaf was very popular, and like I know a lot of Animal Crossing fans had problems with New Horizons. So I feel like Animal Crossing, not that it needs to go back to basics, but I think New Horizons tried different things that I feel like the Animal Crossing community, not saying that they hated, but they didn't love. So I feel like let's kind of take a step back, kind of go back to kind of like what New Leaf did, and maybe try to evolve it from there a little bit more. I feel like maybe that's the approach they'll take, not doing anything crazy or new. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. They're probably going to bring back another series, probably Star Fox F-Zero. I hope they bring back Star Fox and actually, make Star Fox great again. Not to get all Trump, but, make Star Fox great again. I don't know what happened with, Star Fox Zero, but, there's a lot they could do with Star Fox. Do it, Nintendo. Just do it right. Hey Zach, how's it going? Can't wait to see Mario Party Jamboree. Hey Luz, yeah, I'm doing pretty good. I also can't wait for Mario Party Jamboree. Should be a really good time. Animal Crossing New Horizons had great customization, but in exchange for that, everything else was lacking. So little events and lack of stuff to do with your villagers. Next game needs both. Needs customization of Horizons and the events from New Leaf. Yeah, I mean, I'm not an Animal Crossing fan, so I can't really speak too much on it, but from what I've heard from people I know who like Animal Crossing, it's definitely lacking in a lot of areas. There's new things added, which is cool, but they stripped away a lot of stuff that was in specifically New Leaf. I feel like New Leaf was the game that really made Animal Crossing a little more mainstream, a little more popular, so I feel like stripping out a lot of what New Leaf did that brought fans to the series, I feel like it just kind of hurt. I mean, the main thing that made New Horizons do as well as it did was just the fact that it came out during COVID. It just came out at the right time. It just made the most sense. Imagine it's Animal Crossing taking place in a rural city. Well, wasn't there City Folk? Wasn't there Animal Crossing City Folk? Hey, Dancing Rick, how you doing? Nintendo said they continue to release Switch 1 games for a while after Switch 2 releases, so I feel like they'll announce Mario Baseball in February Direct and release it. Here's the thing, though. I feel like most of the releases they'll do for Switch 1 will be, smaller, either really, really small titles or just more remasters. I don't think they're gonna do a new Mario sports game after well, I guess they did. No, Mario Sports Superstar. When did that come out? Mario Sports Superstars. Was that 2016 or 17? Superstars. That was 2016, right? Oh no, it was 17. Oh wow, that came out right after the Switch came out. So I guess maybe it's possible. There's chat. There it is. Okay. Needs to discuss. Oh, I read that. I do hope they put that licensing money into a new Banjo. Yeah, well, unfortunately, that's outside of Nintendo's control. That's all on Rare and Microsoft. What is your opinion on Astrobot, Zach? It is a great game, but most of the game copying Super Mario Galaxy, Odyssey, or Sunshine. I didn't play Astrobot. I don't have a PS5 yet. I actually probably will be getting a PS5 at some point. I'm probably going to get a used one. Just because actually they seem to be going pretty cheap now. Oh, I say cheap, but way cheaper than before. Because with Until Dawn coming out and Silent Hill, those two games are PlayStation exclusive, so I kind of need those. I don't need them, but you know what I mean. So I don't know. I'll probably play Astrobot at some point, but I just haven't played it yet. You know what's weird to me about Star Fox? It seems like so many franchises were highly requested to make it return to form, like Mario Party, Paper Mario, Star Fox, whatever. Star Fox has yet to has in its original form the entire time people actually want to change. It's like the reverse Paper Mario. I'm not saying it's not even that it's not even that it's it's staying the same form. A lot of the Star Fox games just kind of feel the same fundamentally, right? Like with Mario Party, right? With Mario Party, the games all do feel the same, but there are subtle differences between them. And granted, this is more so talking from an actual big Mario Party fan. But with Star Fox, it's I feel like just not much besides, obviously, the graphics, and obviously there was also Star Fox Assault and Adventures that are very different. But I don't know. Like, I just want them. It's not that I even want them to do something completely new. I mean, granted, I'm not the biggest Star Fox fan. I just know that the thing that brought down Star Fox Zero specifically was the controls. And obviously the lack of really any new ideas as well. But make a game that controls good, feels good, have some new ideas thrown in there. And I feel like you got a decent Star Fox game. It's a space shooter. There's not overly much you can do with it. So just have a new idea thrown into the formula. Make it interesting. The greatest chance at Mario Baseball is Nintendo Switch 2. I hope. Gotta do Mario Super Sluggers. That'd be a fun madness to do Mario Super Sluggers. Or Superstar Baseball, either one. Do you think they will do a remaster of the new Super Mario Bros. Wii and DS games? I love those games. Honestly, I don't think so. I feel like Nintendo have heard to death how tired fans were of the new Super Mario Bros. Games. I feel like they're going to avoid those for a little while now. I feel like they not want to do that. Like, not even want to. And also, they don't really remaster 2D Mario games anymore. Like they did back on like the Game Boy Advance. It was like the most recent instance of this. But like, they haven't done anything like that in like 20 years. So, I don't think they're going to start doing it again now. How will the next 3D Mario be as amazing as Odyssey? That game blew my mind. It was so great. It won't be easy, that's for sure. I mean, I think Odyssey is... I think Odyssey's overrated, in my opinion. But, like, I feel like they just need to do something innovative and new and cool with Mario. I mean, I won't talk too much smack about Mario Odyssey. But I feel like if they just have some new... Again, like with Star Fox... Throw in some new ideas, have some really cool worlds to explore, make all the stars, or shine sprites, or moons, or whatever you're collecting. Make them interesting and fun to collect, and there you go. You got a good Mario game. Oh, and make Mario's moveset nice. Make Mario's moveset really good. Like, that's all you really need for a good 3D Mario game. I'm hoping the next 3D Mario gives you the ability to play as different characters like 3D World. That'd be interesting. Do you think we'll get GameCube NSO on Nintendo Switch 2? I think it's possible. I think we can get Nintendo GameCube on Switch 2 for NSO. I don't think we'd get it right away. Like, well, that could be a good way to entice people to come over to Switch 2 is like, say, hey, right, day one, you also get GameCube NSO as part of your expansion pack subscription. That'd be cool, but I don't think that's going to be something they release, like when the system launches. I mean, hell, it took them, what? 2 years, I think, to get the NES or the Nintendo Switch Online thing going with NES games. So, we'll see. You'd be surprised. Also, since Switch 2 will still have one screen, will that mean... what will that mean for DS games and NSO? There was actually a patent about a dual-screen console with dockable top screen. That would have been so awesome. The new design is super underwhelming. So there's some kind of console gimmick we don't know about. I talked about this a bit earlier, but I'll mention it again since I don't think you were here for that, Brandon. Firstly, with the dual screen thing, Nintendo patents lots of things that don't actually end up being anything. Basically, if Nintendo has an idea of something they might do, they'll patent it in case they decide they want to revisit it. So it's like, so that in case someone else thinks kind of the same thing, Nintendo will already have a patent for it. So that's basically just a way of them being like, hey, this is an idea that's ours. You can't use this. We've patented it. So that's that. But here's the thing, and like I said, we mentioned this earlier. There are so many flaws with the Switch 1 that I feel like having an upgraded console that just does what the Switch does but better, I feel like is miles better than Nintendo taking the shot of doing something innovative, which could be either good or bad, because Nintendo have a 50-50 track record on big, wild, innovative ideas actually working. I feel like taking the safe route is actually the way to go. Like, Nintendo are doing so well. If we want Nintendo... First of all, backwards compatibility, obviously. You want... there's just so many things that rely on Nintendo doing the same thing as what they're doing now. The online, or sorry, not the online, the backwards compatibility is a big one, right? You gotta take the cartridge slot. You don't want to have everyone... Backwards compatibility digitally, I guess, could be a thing, but, like, then what about the physical crowd, the people who have physical games? Then you have the whole thing of, like, well, if they're going to create this whole new system with this whole new gimmick, are third parties going to be interested? Third parties are gravitating towards the Switch. The third parties like the Switch. So, they're going to be more inclined, third parties, to support the Switch 2 if it does what the Switch does, but better. I think that just makes life so much easier. And plus, if you do something too gimmicky, then you're at risk of falling even more behind in the graphics race. Because of the fact that if you're trying all these weird and creative things, which I get it. Nintendo are the weird and creative studio. But I feel like now they're just falling too far behind from where everyone else is to be able to hope that that will work. Like, after the GameCube generation, right? Nintendo were on par with everyone else. With the GameCube, PS2, and Xbox, Nintendo were on par. The GameCube, I believe, is more powerful than the PS2, but not as powerful as the Xbox. Like, they were in the game. Like, they were in it. The Wii, the only reason they succeeded was because of the fact that they had marketed the Wii as a super casual console. So, that worked for them. With a new system, yeah, they could do the super casual thing again, but that would just not work for them, in my opinion. That would just lose even more trust from people, because it's like, okay, you built all of our trust back up after the Wii U with the Switch. Now you're falling back into the trying to be the gimmicky, casual, fun, weird console. Nintendo, as innovative as they are, we gotta take them seriously as a game studio as well, as game hardware developers. They have to make something that's actually competitive with the rest of the crowd. So, I feel like them doing all these weird, gimmicky things, I don't know how well that would work anymore. Like, not saying that they shouldn't try something innovative, they shouldn't try something new, but it has to fit within something that's standard, something that's normal, in my opinion. I don't know. Maybe I'm just getting boomerish and, like, grandpa-y. But for me, them doing what the Switch is doing, but better, improving the Joy-Cons. Again, this is all based on the leaks that we saw. Improving the Joy-Cons, having magnets instead of rails, hopefully improving the thumbsticks, making them Hall effect instead of whatever the frick is in the Nintendo Switch now, making the screen bigger, making it more powerful, increasing the battery size, doing all of this that improves upon what the Nintendo Switch does. I feel it just makes the most sense. What do you think about them removing Bowser minigames from the new Mario Party? I'm kind of sad about that. I am pretty sad about no Bowser minigames in the new Mario Party. It would kind of help with the 2 marketing, since you know. What's your opinion on Nintendo and Pocket Pair Power World lawsuit? I don't know much about it. I haven't read up on it too much, but I know, from what I've read, it is definitely a bit of a fishy lawsuit. Like, it's definitely not a clear, like Nintendo are in the right thing. Like, Nintendo, they're not fully in the right on this one. I mean, yes, Power World definitely did do a lot of things that kind of copied what Pokemon does, but, like, I don't know. I'm not necessarily sold on the way they're going about it. I really hope Nintendo Switch 2 has good graphics, because I am sick of loads of great games going to PlayStation and Xbox and not Switch because the game's too realistic. Well, that's the thing as well, right? If we want third parties to keep coming to the Switch, which I'll be honest, I do. I want more third parties to come to the Switch. I want the, newest games to come to Nintendo Switch day and day with everything else. If they can make a system that's that's not, obviously not as powerful as the rest, but enough, sorry, I burped, sorry about that. I didn't nearly puke, I just burped. But a system that is powerful enough to at least handle what, because, like, they're saying that this game will be able to support, like, from what I've heard, in handheld mode, PS4 level graphics, and in docked mode, at most, Xbox Series S. That's pretty dang modern. So, like, if we can get modern-ish games running on it, then, like, Nintendo games will look amazing. and then we'll be able to get the great third-party lineup that I feel like Nintendo does kind of need, because with the Steam Deck, like, the Steam Deck is taking a lot of that third-party support away from Nintendo. So giving Nintendo, like, the more, like, you can play your third parties, you can play your first party, you can play anything on the Nintendo Switch 2. I think it's way better than Nintendo trying a new gimmick, like, let's say a double screen gimmick. Like, let's be real here, right? How many studios, especially if this is meant to also be a home console, it's one thing if it was a dedicated handheld. A 2-screen home console system, like, let's say the Wii U, to compare it. How many studios, how many companies, even Nintendo, how many of them utilized it? How many of them really utilized the gimmick? Nintendo themselves barely utilized the gamepad with the Wii U. Like, it was not a great gimmick. Having 2 screens, even though, yes, it's creative, it's different, how useful is it? How impactful is it? How much will that add to your experience? At most, it could add like a little bit to managing inventory or looking at a map. Like, that's the most I feel like a second screen would actually offer you. So I think them sticking to what works and, like I said, just improving it, I think it's way better. It's funny because every game console had some kind of gimmick. Okay, yeah. Well, NES saving the video game crash, I don't think that's a gimmick of the console. Like, that's not a gimmick of the console. That was just the result of Nintendo's success with the NES. That's not necessarily a gimmick with the console. I mean, the gimmick with the console could be the D-pad. It could be Rob the Robot. Yeah. Very first console with no gimmick. And hey, it doesn't need a gimmick. Not every console needs to have a special gimmick. As long as it does enough to differentiate itself from the previous one, which this console looks tough to do. We'll have to wait and see. See if the game is not a gimmick. Okay, yeah, wow, okay. I need to catch up on this freaking chat. Hold on, new gimmick. Yeah, you may be right. Nintendo better give us full good quality games on Switch 2. Switch 2 so many good games. Sorry, I'm chewing on ice. I mean, Nintendo better give us some good games. Yeah, I mean, I'm hoping that they're gonna stop the releasing the game and then updating it later. I really hope they stop that approach. I mean, I think they saw games like Fortnite and like other live service games that would release the game and then add content later on, and Nintendo took that as, okay, we can release our games with not too much content. I don't want to say unfinished, but like, release our games with not much content, and then we'll add stuff in later on, thinking that, oh, this is what all the popular games are doing, this is what Fortnite is doing, this is what all this is doing. Because Fortnite came out, or, well, Fortnite Battle Royale, I should say, came out in, I think, like 2017, like 2016, 2017, so I feel like that's kind of the trend that Nintendo was trying to ride with that one, and it just didn't work. Honestly, I don't think a commercial showing of the console will be enough. We need a Switch successor direct. Because that old commercial show that's new, likely nothing. We need a new presentation to show us what's different. I mean, I kind of feel like that's what they would do. What do you mean, like a commercial? Like, I feel like that... I'm confused by that comment. Like, I feel like Nintendo are going to show off what's new with the system. They're going to show off the system. They're going to show off the new magnetic Joy-Con, like all the new features. I feel like that's kind of a given that they would do. Like, they're not just going to be like, oh, here's a 2-minute commercial showing off the new system. I don't think they would do that. I think they would just do a presentation showing off the new console, maybe some of the launch games. I mean, most recent characters like Strikers, Tennis, like the Starians. What's your favorite new board in the new Mario Party? Goomba Lagoon is looking pretty good. A commercial. I think Paul Gale said there'd be a commercial. Well, they revealed the new for the Nintendo Switch 1. Well, for the Nintendo Switch 1, it was a commercial, but like the commercial showed off what the system could do. The commercial showed it in dock mode. The commercial showed it being taken into handheld mode. And then the commercial showed it, like, it showed off everything new that the console could do. So I feel like the commercial could easily do the same thing for the new console. Like, why would they make a commercial for the new system and not show off the new console? Like, that doesn't make sense to me. And even then, with the Switch, like, it had the commercial, but then it had a presentation. There was the October reveal with the commercial, and then there's a January presentation diving into the system. So I feel like we don't have much to worry about. Like, a commercial can show off everything that the system could do. Like a 2-minute commercial. Like, here, I'm gonna pull up the Nintendo Switch reveal. Give me 1 minute. Okay. Hold on, here we go. Here. Okay, so here is the. Also, do you like my new React screen? Anyways, here's the initial reveal of the Nintendo Switch. Let's watch it. So, you see here, right? You got the shot of the apartment, and this is a 3-minute commercial, the trailer thing, 3.5 minutes. So you see, hey, you're sitting on the couch playing a game. Like, it's like, okay, he's playing a game with the controller, standard stuff. And then he's like, oh, I gotta go somewhere. Oh, I gotta take the dog for a walk. Okay, I'm gonna get up, put the Joy-Cons on. Like, you see, it's showing the gimmick of the system. Putting on the Joy-Cons, taking it off, playing it. Like, it's showing, the commercial is showing off the new gimmicks that the system has. It's showing off what the purpose of the system is. Because the commercial is supposed to sell you on something. That's the point of a commercial. And I think this commercial does a good job of showing you, okay, you can play the Nintendo Switch anywhere. You can play it in the airport. You put in a cartridge. It shows off, the cartridge is being used. It shows off the Joy-Cons. It shows off playing with friends. It shows off, oh, you can play it on a plane. It shows off the kickstand. It shows, oh, tabletop mode. It shows, so it has it shows all of the features of the console within the commercial. So even if it is a commercial that shows off the Switch 2, that's not a problem, because if it's like this and it just shows off what the system can do and by extension how it will differ from the Switch 1, then there shouldn't be much of a problem at all, in my opinion. So, it shows people taking it on the go, the single Joy-Con play, showing off the new games like the Mario Kart. Like, it shows off everything. So as long as, with the Switch 2 reveal, if it does something like this, where it shows off what the system can do, how it'll be played, and yes, if it is similar to the Switch 1, if it is similar to the Switch 1, then they will need to make sure to show what makes it different. But, like, that's gonna be the commercial. They're gonna show off the things that makes the Switch 2 the Switch 2. Like I said, the whole point of a commercial is to market something, whether it's a product or an event or a fundraiser or something, right? That's the whole point of a commercial. So the main question when Nintendo's making the commercial is going to be, how do we sell this device? How do we sell it? Well, we gotta show it off, obviously. We gotta show it in action. And then the second question is, how do we make sure, especially after the Wii U, that we make sure that this, commercial shows that this is different than the Nintendo Switch? So if your concern is that Nintendo will fail to do that because of the Wii U, that's fair enough. But I think if the reveal is a commercial like this, that doesn't automatically mean that it's gonna not market the system as it needs to. It's just on Nintendo to make sure that the commercial they make, if it is a commercial that they show off first instead of a presentation, then it's on Nintendo to actually make the commercial good. So that's all on Nintendo. So that's all we can really speculate on with that. Pull chat back up. Let's see here. I'm probably going to wrap the stream up in another 5-10 minutes, by the way, so make sure to get your last minute questions in case you haven't gotten anything in yet. Let's see here. Arms too, that'd be interesting. I wonder how long they're gonna keep using the 3D World and New Super Mario Brothers renders. I don't know. Have you played Star Wars Hunters on Switch? It's surprisingly good for you. I actually played Star Wars Hunters at PAX West. They had a booth for it, and I'm not the biggest hero shooter fan, so like I could not get into it. Switching to the TV and the cabinet was crazy at the time. True. Yeah, it's really weird. I guess I'm just worried because how identical it looks to the Switch. I mean, if they make it, I mean, it's gonna be bigger than the Switch. Like, that's going to be kind of the main thing. I feel like the one thing they want to do is, like, show the upgrades. Because that's the thing, right? Is, you know what looks the same every single year but millions of people buy? The iPhone. iPhone hasn't changed design in years. So what they need to do is show off what makes this Nintendo Switch, this isn't a Nintendo Switch, but the new Nintendo Switch, better than the old one. That's what they need to do. Them it looking the same doesn't really mean much. I mean, Microsoft literally sold a giant rectangle for the Xbox Series X. They sold a VCR player for the Xbox. So like, I feel like the visuals don't really matter. I mean, unless you're concerned about looking the same. And like I said, again, iPhones. I don't think it matters too much, to be honest. Hey, Riders DX, what's up? Do you think the Switch will be the next Game Boy where we get several new consoles with the Switch name? We could. It's possible. Switch 2 needs slightly bigger Joy-Cons because the original ones are too small. Fixed Joy-Con drift as well. Well, if the system itself, if the console itself is going to be 2 inches bigger, I think the rumors, the leaks, whatever, say that the console is going to be 2 inches bigger, then naturally the Joy-Cons are also going to be bigger. The next 3D Mario will really wow us. Like how we saw Cappy for the first round. True. Switch 2 needs Sonic Adventure 3. Yeah, you go ask Sega about that. That's all on Sega. That's on Sega to do. That's not on Nintendo. Go ask Sega to make a Sonic Adventure 3. So yeah, as long as Nintendo, honestly, show us what makes the Switch 2 different than the Switch 1, gives us some good first looks at games, like a new 3D Mario, something different. I don't want them to do like the same, because in the Switch trailer, it was Mario Odyssey, Breath of the Wild, and Splatoon 3. Those are the games, and I think we saw a little bit of Mario Kart. Like, those are the ones we saw. I want to see, I mean, 3D Mario is probably going to be the big one, but I mean, also, maybe other series. Maybe see Kirby, maybe see Metroid, like show like Metroid Prime 4 on the Switch 2. Like that could be a really good selling point as well with something like Metroid Prime 4, assuming it'll come out on both consoles, showing what Metroid Prime 4 can do on the Switch 2, the graphics, the frame rate probably. We'll see. I don't know the Switch 2. I feel like they're treating this like the Game Boy lines would be on the Switch line of consoles. Yeah, like it doesn't really, you know. And like the Game Boy, there's not even like a Game Boy 2. They just called the next Game Boy the Game Boy Color, and it did fine. So I feel like if they just keep up, like just show what's different about it and just make it clear, then we're fine. Like really, the idea of the Switch 2 looking like the Switch 1 doesn't automatically mean it's going to be a failure. This is where how Nintendo markets it comes into play, right? Like, this is where, like, the Wii U, yeah, it looked a little bit like the Wii, but you can see the visual differences between the Wii U and the Wii. It's just that Nintendo, on top of, you know, everything else wrong with the Wii U, they marketed it very poorly. So, if they market the Switch 2 well, we'll have to see. Well, it's better than trying to make something that's worse. Exactly. You're right, people buy a new iPhone, but not all of us want to pay for a digital PS5 Pro console. True. Yeah, I think the Switch 2 is going to be $400, which I think if it's as powerful as like the PS4 or like the Xbox Series S, I think that's a fair price. I think 400 is fine for like a new console that plays all of your old games. Like honestly, I feel like the big things that'll make it easy to transition are just backwards compatibility. If every Switch game is backwards compatible, and maybe even like especially the rougher games, like the third-party games that are a little more rough, and even some of the first-party ones that are a little more rough, if those get like a frame rate boost or just something that like gives it a little more power to like you see the upgrade, then yeah, the Switch 2 might be an easy upgrade for a lot of people. And then plus, you bring over all the NSO games, like if you have an NSO subscription and everything, you know, the NES, Super Nintendo, Sega, Game Boy Advance, N64, all of that stuff that's already available, you can all day one play on the Nintendo Switch 2. Like, it just makes the system a little more enticing. Like, I don't know. Like, yes, the Switch 1 can already do all that stuff, but you got the new games. Because I think one of the big problems with the Switch at launch was that there wasn't much to play at first. Like, you had Zelda at launch, you had Mario Kart like a month or two later, then Splatoon like 3 or 4 months after the launch. But like with the Switch 2, if there's not a big game at launch, which there should be a big game at launch, which I think could be Mario, I think the 3D Mario game could be the launch title. Launch with a 3D Mario game and maybe another, maybe a Kirby, or like a smaller title to accompany Mario. And then a couple third parties, and then you also have your whole library of Switch games that you can play. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. What I think it needs, like, huge graphical upgrades, backwards compatibility. Okay, yeah, exactly. I think you meant Splatoon 2, Splatoon 3. Oh, yeah, you know what I mean. What are they gonna do with Splatoon 4? Hopefully, just more Splatoon. Add some new modes. Like, maybe, like Turf War, obviously, is the big one. And there's a couple other modes. Add a couple new modes to the main game. And then, like, another side mode, kind of like the Salmon Run mode. Just add more to it. Like, add a little more complex stuff. And then, of course, another good story mode. Like, you know, stuff like that. Are you sick of the Koopalings in 2D Mario? I still love them. I never cared for the Koopalings. They were never my favorite, which is weird, because I love Super Mario Brothers, like, 3. But, like, I never cared for the Koopalings. I just hope we get different colors. I would love a Cobalt Blue Switch. Switch 2, I mean. Yeah, that'd be pretty cool. It's here, like, Castle Bowser level. Let's see. I didn't like Splatoon 3. I like Splatoon 3.5. Yeah, it just kind of felt weird. Splatoon 3 just kind of felt weird. I mean, I played it. I remember playing the Global Test Fire with Chris. I should say Chris Carpenter, CC Media. And like, I eventually kind of got sold on the game, but not enough to buy it. Do you think Switch 2 will have 4K at 60 FPS? I think it'll have upscaled 4K. Like, I think you'll be able to display in 4K. I think the games will be 1080, but up-resed to 4K for the TVs. I don't think the games will be native 4K. But if that means that we could get a 60 frames per second from a lot of games, then I think that's perfectly fine. 1080 upscaled to 4K, and then smooth 60 FPS would be really, really nice. Though, to be honest though, not a lot of even like Xbox games can even run at 60 FPS nowadays, so we'll have to see. I mean, I don't think they're going to do native 4K 60 frames per second. That's not going to happen. Upscaled though, potentially. As long as it's smooth, as long as the frame rate is smooth, then I'm fine. Do you think they'll give us a new Mario spin-off like Mario Rabbids? I don't think so. The main director of Mario and Rabbids, Davide Soliani, might have mispronounced his name, he's no longer with Ubisoft. So, the game director of Mario and Rabbids is no longer there. So, I don't know. We might not see another Mario and Rabbids game. Let's see. Oh yeah, Metro Prime 4 also could be a launch title. That'd be cool. How we going on my 64? Yeah, I'm probably gonna end the stream in a couple minutes here anyways. The new 3D Mario needs a different villain than Bowser. Like imagine Toadstool pays money like Wario and Waluigi, Peach, so much distracted, takes over control of the Mushroom Kingdom. That'd be cool. Yeah, a new villain besides Bowser would be pretty cool. Heck, even if Bowser became an ally, or like someone that you could like befriend. Not befriend, but you know what I mean. That'd be pretty cool. I think there should be one Splatoon game per console. I don't know why 3 released on the current Switch. Most people don't play 2 anymore because of 3. Yeah, because of how similar Splatoon 3 is. Like, it's not like Mario Party, something that relies on the online aspect of it. Splatoon kind of does. I mean, I guess Call of Duty comes out every year, but that's just kind of Call of Duty. It's like, I don't know. That's basically a new villain swaps the level styles of Mushroom Kingdom Sonic's World. So basically, there's a loop-de-loops in Mushroom Kingdom. Oh, so kind of like there are these Game Boy Advance Crash and Spyro games that I think kind of mixed elements of the two within each other. It's kind of like that. Question Box, Valuables in the Green Hill, and Martin Sonic have to escape each world to beat each new villain. That'd be kind of cool. Alright guys, I think I'm going to end off today's Chaturday. It was a good time. Stay tuned for Monday's video, which will be about Switch 2, like I said in the beginning. It'll be mostly about games and stuff I want to see within the first year of the Switch 2's launch. If you haven't seen the community post where I'm asking for your guys' input for the video, go check out my channel. It's on the community page. Go check that out. Leave a comment with your suggestion. One game or feature or thing that you want to see within the first year of the Switch 2 launching. Go and check out the casting of Frank Stone streams I did. Those were really, really fun. I'm going to be streaming more games here soon. I know I'm doing a Mario Party Madness on Tuesday, and I might stream another game later in the week. Still trying to figure that out. And I heard Sonic. What else? I know I haven't been uploading much content recently. I know, like, this past week I didn't upload anything. I mean, I streamed during the week, so that balances out a little bit. But I've been working a lot more on the Luigi's Mansion 4 concept series, which, yes, I am still doing. Finishing that up. And I'm also working on the Zach Pack Show Halloween special, but that one's kind of not on the back burner, but Luigi's Mansion 4 is priority, so I'm kind of working on that one. So, we will have to see. So, thank you guys so much for watching today's stream. Hopefully you enjoyed, and until next time, I will see you all in the next stream or next video or whatever you guys watch of me. See you guys later.